There I am.
Hey, man.
Hello. I went to the wrong meeting initially. I'm like, why isn't this opening? It's the wrong link.
I did that with Bob the other day when we were having our own meeting, and I texted him. I said, "So you coming on the meeting?" He goes, "I'm already on the meeting," because I was on a different meeting. So
Yep,
got a lot
Yep.
of those.
it's true.
All right, well, let's get started. We'll do a pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United
The United
States,
States of America.
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty
for
and justice
liberty and
for all.
justice for all.
Justice for all.
Not our best pledge.
Attendance?
I couldn't find the flag here, so I just stood up.
I looked at Scott's,
There you
one
go.
behind him.
How about we mute unless we have to talk, because I'd like to get through this tonight. We've got a lot to do. So any adjustments to the agenda? Nothing? And I'd entertain a motion to approve the minutes of March 26, 2020.
So moved.
Second.
Mike, second by Phoebe. Are there any errors, omissions, any discussion on that?
I had one item. I noticed on page 7, there was a space to put in the person that made the motion and the second, but the names weren't there.
Oh, under 15.4, request for approval?
I can't remember just what the item was. I can go back and look at them if you want me to. But it was just on page 7. There was no.
It's 15.4.
15.4. Do you know who?
Remote learning.
Okay, that will be changed. Thank you for that, Lynn.
Okay.
Any other errors, omissions? Okay, roll call vote.
Lena,
Thumbs up. She's on set.
Yes.
Doug,
Yes.
Tammy,
Yes.
Taylor,
Yes.
Sarah.
Here.
Yes.
Is that a yes, Sarah?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes. Was that a yes? Okay.
Yes.
No.
Steve,
Yes.
Dale,
Yes,
Mike,
Yes.
Lynn,
Abstain.
Joel,
Joel, you're muted.
Yep. Yes.
Phoebe,
Yes.
Ann,
Yes.
Bob,
Yes.
and Andrew not on.
Andrew's not on, so.
Okay.
So moved. Under number 6, communication correspondence, we have 3 resignations. And I'd like a motion to accept those 3 with regret.
So moved.
Moved by
Second.
Mike. Second by, was that Lynn?
Sarah.
Sarah, sorry. Any discussion on that? Okay, we'll call on that.
Lena,
Yes.
Doug,
Yes.
Tammy,
Yes.
Taylor,
Yes.
Sarah,
Yes.
Steve,
Yes.
Dale,
yes,
Mike,
Yes.
Lynn,
Yes.
Joel,
Yes.
Phoebe,
Yes.
Ann,
Yes.
Bob,
Yes. So moved. I see we have a few extra people here, which is great. Thank you for coming and watching. Do we have anyone that has a public comment about anything on tonight's agenda? Look like that. Any board comments? Phoebe?
Yes, I just wanted to thank our teachers and all the staff for the wonderful job they're doing. I can't tell you how many times the students have been reached out by different teachers to make sure that they're understanding packets that were sent. And they've taken so much of their own time to dedicate to our students, and I think that's wonderful.
Great. I agree. Anyone else?
Yep, I have one, Bob.
Mike?
So I am the parent of a 5th grader who is very upset that she wasn't able to go to her re-energy field trip this year. And my dad, who works at that power plant, talked to his boss, and they were wondering if we could extend that field trip to the 6th grade next year, as well as the 5th grade next year. So let the kids who are in 5th grade this year go on the field trip, and then let the 5th graders go. I told her I'd send the message along, so message sent.
I think it's a great idea.
Yep.
And thank him for that, Mike.
You're welcome. I definitely will.
Any other board, Tammy?
As we move closer to hopefully reopening next year, with the tables at, I think they're mostly at the high school and middle school, are we looking at replacing those to be desks, seeing there's not enough tables in the room to accommodate classrooms? Or do we have other plans in place?
We don't have any plans at the moment in place. We will be getting some CARES money, so if we get to a point that we have to switch over, hopefully we'll have an understanding over the summer, beginning of the summer, what's going to happen for opening up schools. There might not be anything done, but we don't know that yet. So.
Right. The 6-foot rule, I believe, will be in place at least until the vaccine, which at the earliest will be late fall, winter. So it could be an issue.
That's going to be interesting to follow in some classrooms with 20-some kids, and I don't think the classroom's big enough to go 6 feet, 6 feet, 6 feet, but we'll see how that plays out. We'll have that discussion. I meet at least weekly with the superintendents in the area to see what they've heard and what they think they're going to try to do. So.
Anyone else?
Yep, I had something. I'm enjoying the morning announcements, Mr. Hollingworth. And I did my research and I found the error in yesterday's pledge. It's excused.
I knew the ELA teacher would find it.
Well, we don't want to hold it against you.
I thought in the English language 4 and 2 meant the same thing.
If no one else, we'll move on to Scott's report.
As I stated in my last written report to you guys, I am continuing to work from home on Wednesdays only. I'm doing this in order to help my daughter with her schoolwork and to keep peace between mom and daughter. Just experiencing that, I truly feel for everyone going through this with school-age children at home. I can't imagine what it would be like if both parents have to be working. If there's more than one child in the home at one time, I can't even imagine the work and the expectation and the stress that people are under. Still continuing to have weekly ad team meetings by Zoom. Having a weekly Zoom meeting with Board Chair Staples. Having weekly Zoom meetings with Western Maine superintendents. I've been in contact over the past 2 weeks with all of our town managers. I've also been in contact with Senator Kayam and Representative Riley. I was also part of the Siemens Phase 2 meeting last night with the Buildings and Grounds Committee. So still keeping busy, still have a lot on the plate. And we're all everybody in the area is still all in the same boat, and it's nice to be able to connect with the superintendents and so forth. I understand that we're all in the same boat and try to figure out how we can move forward. Just waiting on information from the governor and the Commissioner of Education on some of this stuff. So.
Any questions for Scott?
Oh, Ann's good.
Ann?
Yeah, I had a question about, kind of to lead off of Tammy's comment. So you're waiting on some information from the governor about, things are gonna look like in the fall. Is there a plan on, will the board be involved with plan for the fall, or, how's that gonna work? Do you have a plan to make a plan, I guess is my question.
Plan to make a plan. One of the things, the last couple of workshop days that we're going to have in June will be an opportunity for the teaching staff to talk over some things. Like I said, a lot of it's going to depend on what they open for the date for some of this stuff to happen.
Okay.
Are already looking at, we'll have to run some things by you guys anyway when it comes to, during the first week, are we going to have kids be in the same grade that they're in now for a few days so that they can get a transition? It would be nice if all of a sudden come June we could do that, but I doubt that's going to happen. We talked to the ad team today just briefly to get things started. What is the first month going to look like? Does it mean we concentrate on certain subjects and not worry about other things? Things like that we have to have discussions on as we go along. So.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, anything?
Are we still looking at June 17th? I know some other schools have moved up the last day of school.
Our last official student day is June 15th, and our last staff day is June 17th. I don't want to change that. I believe the taxpayers have paid for us to have a full school year. I know things aren't necessarily great the way everything's going with remote learning. Teachers are trying their best. It definitely isn't perfect, and we are seeing some kids drop off, but I think we owe it to our taxpayers and our students to be at least offering it the full amount of time. You also then we talked with other superintendents, you also run into some issues with contracts if you decide to cut things short. So you need to be real careful on changing the calendar that's been approved.
Okay.
Okay.
Anyone else? Okay. Administrator reports. Kevin.
You folks give me a little thumbs up, I'll know you can hear me.
Hear ya.
There we go. I always like the phone, so I just like to see the thumbs.
Oh.
All right, so very quickly, just kudos to staff, everything they've been doing, putting together. Now we're working on the third package that we'll be sending home. May 13th and 14th is the date that we have in mind. They've been making videos and posting those for their students, using Zoom, Remind, Class Dojo, and basically any other way that families want to connect, whether it's text or emails, or they've also sent out some links and things that are helpful for the families. So the weekly little check-in with the parents has come in very handy. And again, we're using all the different communication tools to whatever they prefer, just to touch base and see if anything's changed or anything they need from us. So kudos to staff for doing that and doing a really good job with it. They're also preparing class lists right now for next year, so 2020-21, and putting together the lists and which teachers and so forth where it makes sense where the students will hopefully prosper in hopefully it'll be a normal setting at that time. We're doing our routine things also, the schedules, prepping the schedule for next year, but also all the handbooks that we have. We have 3 different handbooks that we're working on and making sure those are coming together. We do have pre-K and kindergarten registration dates still scheduled. We've rescheduled them along the way. This next one that we've got, and we've been scheduling parents, and we're just really kind of crossing our fingers that it's all going to work out with the CDC and then what the governor has to say. as far as basically mid-June to the end of June is some of the dates that we have. And I did send some board notes over to Laura, so the specific dates are on that. Let's see, also on the positive side, we've had a couple of other good things too. Donations, we had 3 donations totaling $1,800 for the food pantry, and that works out really well. Generally speaking, when we spend actually $500 out of our account, we're able to buy $1,500 or more worth of actual groceries that we put in the pantry. So it's a pretty good trade-off when we work it out that way. We also had an anonymous donation of $1,500 in addition to the $1,800, also for the pantry, but it left us quite a bit of options as to what we might want to do with that money. So that was great. That just recently came in. Enrollment is still at 396. It's 195 boys and 201 young ladies. That's it.
Nice job, thank you.
You're welcome.
Any questions for Kevin? Greg?
All right, as far as the middle school is concerned, I continue to be super impressed with the staff as they continue to make efforts to reach through remote learning all of the students at the middle school. We have successfully transitioned to all of our remote learning activities taking place online, except for families that have requested paper-based materials, and we're mailing those out and collecting them because there's not a large number of those. This week, staff is working on making contact with every single family and household in the school to do a general check-in outside of other contacts that teachers might be doing regarding academic work. Again, this is just to see how families are doing and making sure that they have what they need. We have a wide variety of student engagement as far as the learning is going. We have some kids that are on top of everything and want more work and want more complicated work. And then we have some kids that are totally checked out and a lot of kids in between. So staff are really, they have a challenge in front of them and they're doing very well. Our most recent school-wide activity for supporting students was cleaning out 320 middle school kids' lockers and bagging up their materials and making arrangements for families to come and claim those. And I mentioned in an email to staff recently, if anybody offers the task to you to clean out 320 middle school kids' lockers, run away and respectfully decline the offer. Also, I continue to be impressed with teachers as they rely on each other to support students and to support each other as colleagues. There's a lot of collaboration that is happening between our teachers as they every day problem solve how to do a really challenging new task as well as they can. And as Kevin mentioned, we also are beginning to ramp up our planning activities for next year to make sure that we can start off as smoothly as possible. And our last update here is just a couple of hours ago, we heard of our 3 winners of the VFW's annual Patriot Pen Writing Contest. So I'll mention those folks. So our 3rd place person was Peyton Reichenbach. Our 2nd place person was Brendan Vayu, and our 1st place student who placed 2nd in the district, which is fantastic, is Ariana Donahue. So congratulations to those kids. And I'm happy to answer any questions if anybody has any.
Any questions for Greg? Dale?
Yes.
Go ahead, Dale.
Yes, go ahead.
In the past, we've sent congratulations from the board for activities for students like that. Lynn has, I believe Lynn's got a form. Would that be something to do for the students that just finished 1st, 2nd, and 3rd?
I just wrote down the names and I will connect with Bob and Laura to do that. Thanks.
All right, thank you.
Anyone else? If not, Chris.
Okay. With everything that's going on, we've, of course, with technology, we've been just working a lot to make sure that teachers are connecting with the kids and able to connect with the kids. We've set up a system here at central office. So if any students in middle school or high school have issues with their Chromebooks, they can drop them off here and pick up another one. So there's no downtime. I kind of man that. I tried the social distancing and working from home for a couple days, but mostly I work at school now. My wife said that would probably be better for our marriage. So I work here now.
Central office staff is very grateful.
Yes. And then obviously attending a ton of Zoom meetings, mostly with the state, just getting what's going on at the state level and making sure we're on board and we know what's going on, so we can make sure we have everything in place. Plus we set up the website so we can share documents. And then, as Lynn mentioned, we're doing the morning announcements just to try to have a good connection with people out there. So continuing to do that. Curriculum been a little more difficult because people aren't here, but we've kind of tried to not put too much stress on teachers with curriculum per se right now, but we are continuing with our big items. We're continuing forward with implementing a new math program for next year. Did a lot of that through Zoom, had meetings, decided on a math program, and I'm moving forward with that. And right now I'm in discussions with the company, mainly to talk them down in price, and then move forward on that and get training set up. Most of the beginning training will probably be remote over Zoom, but we are including in that some after training, basically. So that'll allow the teachers to have the initial training, but then use the program for a little while, and then have a follow-up training, so that if they have questions and things like that, they can really get those answered. So that's about it.
Any questions for Chris? If not, TJ.
Yeah. Good evening, everyone. Just thank you for hearing me out tonight. I don't have much to report. The major piece that I'm sure that all of you are kind of curious about is the graduation. I'm sure that that is a big topic that you've been hearing about. Our biggest push is so that we do not lose that. And we know it's not going to happen in June 14th, but we're going to keep working with the dates and the state to try to have a real graduation all the way up until the first week of August. I think it's important for our student seniors to be recognized in a great way. It's definitely not going to be inside. It is definitely going to be outside. And we're thinking probably down at the Livermore Falls football field. And somehow do it outside there. We have some other recognition pieces that we're planning with the staff and with all of our students, and you'll be hearing more about that as we move closer towards the end of the school year. And that's all I have.
Anything for TJ? No?
Cool.
Pat?
Good evening. Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, good. Like the other principals, we're starting packet 3 has been put together. The teachers have done an outstanding job doing something that they were never trained to do, that we're asked to do on the fly. I'm always amazed at how quickly and motivated teachers are when you give them a challenge that they've never had before. So our third packets will go out next week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Along with the packets, we'll have the students' belongings. The teachers have gone in and bagged up all the kids' belongings. Those will be in the gym. We'll be able to hand those to parents. Also, our nurse, Jen Kanovich, will be there to hand medication back to families for students that we have. In January, the elementary participated in the Winter Kids Winter Games. Out of 31 schools, we ended up 18th, so we'll get $100 for that. The feedback from students and teachers, they really enjoyed the different activities, especially most of the activities were based outside, getting the kids and everybody outside in the nicer parts of the winter. Class lists, we've also started to work on class lists to get a head start on that, to get that all ready to go. So hopefully when the kids come back sooner than later, we'll be ready to go there. I just received a phone call, I think it was yesterday, from the J. Livermore Falls Lions Club. They have $750 worth of books to donate to the elementary. They're going to bring those in tomorrow so that we can pass those out to parents and kids on pack-up pickup next week. I thought that was pretty outstanding. I didn't know the Lions Club had books to hand out, but they received $500, and on top of that, Usborne Books, because they went through that, gave them another $250 grant. So we'll have plenty of books for kids and parents to pick through, various different genres. So hopefully we'll hit something all the kids like. That is all I have.
Anything for Pat? Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Pat. I don't have much. We do have, remember we have the superintendent evaluation coming up. We'll be meeting on the 14th in an executive session to go over that. I'll give Doug and Joel a pass because they've had some, they have a good excuse not to get it done as quickly as they. But the others, I would hope that you can get those in as quick as possible so that Mike and I can start going through it and compiling it and have it ready for you. And that's really all I have. And down to old business, COVID-19 update.
Well, as I'm sure you're all aware, we're planning to have remote learning opportunities for students for the rest of the regular school year. Like I had said a few minutes ago, we're waiting to hear from the state on what possible options are for giving students some summer help, as well as what the start of next year's school year might look like. It continues to be our goal to be a source of support during this stressful period. We understand, as I had sent out the letters stating that each household circumstances are different. All we're asking for is that everybody do the best that they can. It is our intent to make sure that students will be held harmless when it comes to grading and grade promotion because of this pandemic, as long as there's a good faith effort is given. Students can only be helped by doing work during this time, not hurt. We've had, despite how hard the teachers are working to connect with kids and give them meaningful learning opportunities, student participation in doing schoolwork or attending meetings with staff has dropped. This is something that we've seen in districts throughout the state. We've had that discussion with other superintendents. We believe it is imperative to continue our efforts until the school year is over. We know that we could probably get more participation if we had accountability for some of these students, but we know the damage would be irreparable. So everybody agrees that it's not worth to up the ante and hold kids accountable for things that they cannot control. But by having these offerings, those kids who can, or those kids who choose, can still have learning opportunities. And we hope that those kids, it'll help them when they start the school year next year, if they're willing to at least give an attempt, if at all possible this year. So I haven't seen any district in the area talking with all the superintendents that feel differently, that we don't want to hold any of the kids, any harm to any of the kids during this period, because it's not their fault.
Any questions for Scott on COVID-19? Okay. So, new business, 15.1, Federal Child and Adult Care Food Program. All right.
Okay, you guys should have in your packet, there was a new law that was passed stating that if you have at least 50% of your students that qualify for free or reduced price lunch during your preceding school year, you can participate in the Federal Child and Adult Care Food Program during that school year. We have an option to opt out or to stay with it. Talking with Laura and looking through what the requirements are, we feel it is best to opt out. We will still, if we have after school, always in the past when we've had after school programming, we've offered snacks. We'll continue to do that. What this law is stating is if you decide to stay with this program, this federal program, you would actually have to start serving dinners to students. We don't have the capacity to do that. We think at least offering snacks for kids who stay after for help is worthwhile and is doable, but the expectations to all of a sudden start serving dinners as well when we get back to school, I think goes way out of the scope of what our food service program can do.
Any questions or comments? None? Oh, Ann? Ann?
Yep. My comment was that I understand that the requirement to provide dinner is a barrier for accepting it, but are we missing out by not taking it? Like, is there something that we're like not getting that we've gotten in the past
No.
by not?
We still get reimbursement for snacks that we give. That doesn't change.
Okay. No, I just wanted to understand, you know, I know I hear that the dinners are, you know, it's a barrier. We're not set up to do that, but because of that, I wondered if there was anything that we're missing by not accepting it.
No, we're not missing out on anything. We'd still get our regular reimbursement if we continue on with snacks.
Okay.
And the goal is, I mean, if we actually, with all that we've gone through this year, we're hoping at the beginning of next year, more people are going to sign up for free and reduced that haven't in the past. Because if we get up to that 70% level, it would pay for a lot of our things. And I believe that we probably are at the 70% level. We're just not getting that information. We're in the high 50s in most schools. So.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Scott.
You're welcome.
Anyone else? Steve?
The law says that the governing body of the SAU has to vote after notice and a public hearing. Is that what this is? So it wasn't clear on the agenda if we would be voting or not on this. So I'm just trying to figure out if that's what we're doing here or.
I mean, we could, or if you guys decide, we can wait, we can vote at the next meeting.
My only concern is, I think it seems like the intent of the law is that you're supposed to provide some kind of forum for the public to be able to question or learn about or give their opinion on what the program is or what the law would do. So I'm not sure it was entirely clear that on the agenda that there would be an opportunity to do that at this meeting.
That makes sense. So yeah, I don't have a problem with, we can post it on the website that this is going to be a part of the next meeting. So if people want to express their opinions or get more information, public that is, they can do that, and then we can vote at the next meeting. Does that sound good to you, Steve?
Yeah, like I said, I think that technically I think this would qualify under that, but I think that if there's no rush, then I think we should probably just provide a little more opportunity for some feedback if people have it.
Lynn, did you have something? You're muted, Lynn.
I had the same question and Steve took care of it for me.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else? Then we will post that and vote on it the next meeting. 15.2, would entertain a motion to go into executive session to discuss a personnel matter pursuant to 1 MRSA 4056A.
So moved.
Moved by Mike.
Second.
Who seconded that?
Me.
By
Phoebe.
Phoebe. And I think we can probably just, well, we got too many people that aren't visual. So roll call.
Lena,
Lena, yes.
She has a thumbs up.
Doug,
Yes.
Doug?
Yes. Yes.
Carrie,
Yes.
Taylor,
Yes.
Sarah,
Yes.
Steve,
Yes.
Dale,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
Lynn,
Yes.
Joel,
Yes.
Phoebe,
Yes.
Ann,
Yes.
Bob.
Yes. So we will enter executive session, so move. At 6:40.
Give me a minute here. I gotta set up a breakout room for the.
Chris is getting us set up right now, so we'll get that in just a minute.
Don't go too far.
Which one does Joel want to be in? Nobody's phone?
Yeah.
Mike?
Yep. Sarah.
Taylor can't be in this one, so.
You have yourself in it because that's Scott, right?
Yeah, I think I can, because I'm the moderator, I can just, you can jump right into it.
Okay.
You don't actually have to be assigned. Okay. And then I gotta assign this one, everybody else. Right. I'm just gonna put them in another room just to make sure they don't.
Can I excuse you, interrupt just for a minute? This is Pam Honden, staff writer. How am I supposed to get out of this meeting while you're in executive session, but know when you come back in so that I can hear what takes place after?
Chris is doing that for you.
Okay, all right, I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah,
Thank
Chris,
you.
Chris is controlling that on this end. He's putting the board into a special breakout room where everybody else won't be in, and then when it's time to come back out, he'll let you guys all in.
And everybody else will actually be put into a separate breakout room, so they can talk amongst themselves.
Okay.
All right, we should be. Wait. All right. So, I'll leave that over there. And then you have the option to, let's see, how do I do this? Okay. You have the option to go into a room. So, no, I'll get you in there.
Join. Now, can you hear me? Nice, very good. 6:47. So we're back in session, and I'd entertain a motion to action on first year continuing contracts for the three listed under 15.3, 15.4, and 15.5.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mike, second by
Sarah.
Sarah. Any discussion? If none, roll call vote, please.
Lena,
Yes.
Doug,
Yes.
Tammy,
Yes.
Taylor,
Yes.
Sarah,
Yes.
Steve,
Yes.
Dale,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
Lynn,
Yes.
Joel,
Yes.
Phoebe,
Yes.
Ann,
Yes.
Bob.
Yes. So moved. And now I'd entertain a vote to take action on third-year probationary contracts for 15, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13.
So moved.
So moved. Oh, second.
Moved by Phoebe, I believe, second by Mike, is that correct?
Yeah.
Any discussion on that? Roll call vote.
Lena,
Yes.
Doug,
Yes.
Tammy,
Yes.
Sarah,
Yes.
Steve,
Yes.
Dale,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
Lynn,
Yes.
Joe,
Yes.
Phoebe,
Yes.
Ann,
Yes.
Bob.
Yes. Now I'd entertain a motion to take action on second-year probationary contracts for 15, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and 21.
So moved.
Who's the motion?
Sarah.
Sarah, motion by Sarah,
Second.
by Doug. Okay. Any discussion on this one? Roll call vote, please.
Lena,
Yes.
Doug,
Yes.
Tammy,
Yes.
Sarah,
Yes.
Steve,
Yes.
Dale,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
Lynn,
Yes.
Joel,
Yes.
Phoebe,
Yes.
Ann,
Yes.
Bob.
Yes.
So moved.
Okay. Move now. 1522, entertain a motion to go into executive session to discuss a personnel matter pursuant to 1 MRSA 4056A.
So moved.
Moved by Mike, was it?
Yes.
Second.
And by Doug?
Got it.
And roll call?
Lena,
Yes.
Doug,
Yes.
Tammy,
Yes.
Taylor,
Yes.
Sarah,
Yes.
Steve,
Yes.
Dale,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
Lynn,
Yes.
Joe,
Yes.
Phoebe,
Yes.
Ann,
Yes.
Bob.
Yes.
So moved.
So move for an executive session at 6:53. And you need to join us, don't forget.
Yep. You're going the right room, yeah?
Okay, we're back from executive session at 7:02.
Oh, look. Andrew's here. Just made it. He's down here now. He's down in that corner. I just admitted it.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'd entertain a motion to take action on administrator contract renewal for 2020, 2021 for 15, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, and 29.
So moved.
So moved. Second.
Moved by Mike, second by Phoebe. Any further discussion? A roll call vote, please.
Lena,
Yes.
Doug,
Yes.
Tammy,
Yes.
Sarah,
Yes.
Steve,
Yes.
Dale,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
Lynn,
Lynn?
Yes.
Joel,
Yes.
Phoebe,
Yes.
Ann,
Yes.
Bob.
Yes.
Did you say Andrew was on?
Yes, he's on.
Yeah.
Andrew,
Yes.
So moved. Okay, 16 appointments. We've already pretty much looked at all those. No other business. Our next regular scheduled meeting is May 14th. Are we going to try to do finance or how's that going to work?
I can get back to the finance committee on that. I'll talk with Crystal. Don't forget, couple people should have, on the finance committee, should have received your email with the warrants. You need to, at least if you either approve them or not approve them, you need to send an email back to Crystal so that she can print it out and staple it to the warrant. So that's how we're doing it at the moment, so.
And I think all we have left is to adjourn. We have a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
So moved.
Second?
Second. Second.
Second, Dale, I think. We'll go with Dale. Give me a thumbs up if you want to adjourn. We are adjourned.
Thank you all. Thank you, Chris Hollingsworth, for setting this up.
Thank you, Chris.
Yeah,
This
thank you,
went
Chris.
awful
That was
smooth.
great.
Want to thank
Way better than last time.
I have faith now.
See you guys.
Bye.
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 Stay safe.
Everybody.
Good evening.
See ya.